If you live in your mind, you are never present. You are either in the past or trapped in an illusion of the future. But life, real life, happens in this moment right here, right now. Most people don't need to think more. They need to feel more. You were not born to live as a prisoner of your thoughts. You were born to observe, to act, to experience. In the Shaolin tradition, we train to use the mind as a tool, but we do not allow it to become our master. That is the way of imbalance. Overthinking is a form of self-sabotage. It delays action, drains your energy, and steals your presence. When you live with your mind, you observe thoughts like clouds drifting in the sky. When you live in your mind, you are lost in the storm. Train your awareness, breathe deeply, act when action is needed, rest when rest is needed. Let go of trying to control everything. A calm mind is not an empty mind, it's a mind that sees clearly. You do not need to know the entire path before you take the first step. Walk forward with discipline and trust that clarity will come. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the power behind it. Live with your mind, not in it. That is the Shaolin way. The mind is a wonderful tool, but a dangerous master. Many people spend their entire lives trapped in a place that doesn't physically exist their mind. They wake up already anxious about what might happen. They replay past mistakes like broken records. They imagine outcomes, make plans, revise them, then start again endlessly. But all the while, life is happening. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but now. You see, thoughts are just mental events. They are like clouds passing through the sky, temporary, changeable, and ultimately out of your control. But most people forget this. They attach themselves to every thought. They believe every worry. They analyze every emotion. They chase every fear. In doing so, they hand over their inner peace to a storm that never ends. But this storm only rages because we feed it. The first step in reclaiming your life is to separate yourself from your thoughts, to observe without judgment, to see thinking as a function, not an identity. Just like your heart beats and your lungs breathe, your mind thinks. That doesn't mean every thought is true. That doesn't mean every thought deserves your energy. When you learn to step back to witness rather than react, a powerful thing happens. Clarity arises. Not because you forced it, but because you created space for it. In that space, you can finally breathe. Overthinking is not a sign of intelligence, it's a sign of fear. The mind will often convince you that you're just being careful, just being thorough, or just being prepared. But beneath the surface, overthinking is often driven by fear. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of not being enough, and so you delay, you wait, you hesitate, and as you do, your confidence slowly crumbles. But understand this, fear multiplies in delay. The longer you stay stuck in mental loops, the more those imagined worries begin to feel real. Your body responds as if danger is present, even when it's not. Your energy drains, your motivation vanishes. The Shaolin path teaches us not to feed fear with thought. Instead, we train the body, we move, we breathe, we act. Even small actions, done with presence, silence the mind and restore your power. Fear loses its grip when met with movement. Don't think your way out, walk your way out. Move your way out. Breathe your way through it. The only way to master fear is to stop analyzing and start experiencing. The present moment is the only moment that truly exists, and yet, how rare it is to find someone fully living in it. We drift backward to the past, reliving old conversations, regretting missed chances, punishing ourselves for mistakes. Or we leap into the future, imagining everything that could go wrong, planning, predicting, worrying endlessly. But in both cases, we miss what's in front of us. You cannot rewrite yesterday. You cannot control tomorrow. But you can show up today. You can breathe deeply in this moment. You can take the step that is right in front of you, not the 100 after it, not the mountain at the end, just the one that's here. Stillness comes when we return to this, when we stop chasing and simply arrive. You do not need more time, you need more presence, because presence is what transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. It is what turns routines into rituals. It is what lets you feel peace even in chaos. Start now, close your eyes, inhale, exhale, come back to where life is happening, right here. Use the mind as a tool, do not let it use you. The mind can be trained like a muscle, but most people never train it. They let it run wild. They let it dictate their moods, their behaviors, their beliefs. But imagine handing over the wheel of your life to an untrained child. That is what happens when you let your thoughts rule your actions. In Shaolin philosophy, the mind is sharpened like a blade, used with precision, not recklessness. You use it when needed, and you put it down when not. This requires discipline. It requires practice. It requires detachment. You don't have to follow every thought. You don't have to chase every emotion. You can choose. You can redirect. You can pause. That is what living with your mind looks like. Being the observer, not the prisoner. Choosing response over reaction. Choosing direction over distraction. You are not weak for having thoughts. You are strong when you master your relationship with them. Discipline is more important than mental control. You cannot force the mind to be silent, but you can train your actions, and through that training, your mind slowly begins to quiet on its own. When you wake up early despite wanting to sleep in, that's discipline. When you follow through on your word even when it's hard, that's discipline. When you meditate, train, breathe, rest, and live with rhythm, that's discipline. The Shaolin monks live a life of structure not for the sake of rules, but because structure creates freedom. In the same way that a river flows with force because it has banks, your energy becomes powerful when given direction. Don't wait to feel ready. Begin, even with a small step, even with an imperfect effort. Action brings momentum. Momentum silences doubt. Thoughts may still come, but you will not be moved by them. Simplicity is the path to strength. We often believe that more is better, more thinking, more planning, more strategies, more noise. But complexity is the enemy of clarity. A cluttered mind cannot move with force. The greatest masters are not those who have filled their minds with endless information, but those who have emptied them and returned to the essence. Do one thing with full presence. Take one breath with full awareness. Sit in silence and notice what arises. You will find that most of what you need is not truly needed, that most of what you chase is not truly fulfilling. Cut through the noise. Let go of what is not essential. Return to what matters: breath, movement, discipline, presence, purpose. Strength is not about how much you carry. It's about how lightly you can move. So I ask you this: will you continue living in your mind, or will you step out of it and start living your life? The world doesn't need more overthinkers. It needs more action takers, more peace makers, more present people who are rooted in the moment, anchored by purpose, and unshaken by thoughts. Be one of them. Live with your mind, not in it. That is the Shaolin way. That is the human way. That is your way if you choose it. So now, pause, take a deep breath, not to escape your thoughts, but to return to your center where stillness lives, where clarity begins, where power resides. Because in the end, your life is not defined by what you think. It is defined by what you do, by how present you are in each moment, and by your ability to rise above the noise and listen to the silence within. This is not just philosophy. This is a call to live simply, to act mindfully, to walk your path with calm awareness and unwavering discipline. Don't just know this, live it. Live with your mind, not in it. That is where freedom begins, and that is where your true self awakens.